Are you a dime? On a scale of 1 to 10, are you a dime? Are you a 10? Yes, my name is Victoria Green Brackens. I am a success and achievement trainer at my company, Milk and Honey Success Education, as well as a professional stock trader. And I'll talk to you a little bit about both here tonight. Tonight's session is about the question, are you a dime, or the concept of being a dime, being a level 10 person, as well as I will also be answering some FAQs, some frequently asked questions about what I do for a living, which is my primary source of income is trading stock options in the stock market. And that's whether the market is up, down, or sideways. There's ways to make money in the market at all times if you know what you're doing, if you have the right information and you are prepared. Those two things, you have the right information and you're prepared, meaning you have the money that it takes to get in there. So once again, tonight's session is about becoming a level 10 person so that you're bigger than your problems, than most problems. And the second part, or the session, and it'll probably be intermingled. I probably won't do it in just one half. Yes, give me the thumbs up, give me the heart, let me know, check in with me. I want you to know that you're here, invite your friends. Go ahead, please share this right now because this is powerful information. That is my life mission. My life's work mission is to empower minds to change lives. I did it in a public classroom for 13 years. I've been doing it on the stage for about 5, well, really longer than that, but professionally in my own business for about 5, and full-time within the last year and a half. So please just check in, let me know. I love to see the thumbs up. I love to see people make comments. Please let me know that you're here. When you're actively engaged in learning, you will retain more of it. So type something, write something down, give me a comment, repeat something, do all these. All these are ways to help you retain the information, because this is powerful information from me to you. This is information that will change your life if you allow it, if you apply yourself, if you invest in yourself. So tonight's session, once again, is about becoming a level 10 person, as well as me answering some FAQs, some frequently asked questions about not only what I do for a living, which is trade stock options, okay, also in addition to training from the stage, training people in success education on how to go from being 9-to-5ers to 3-to-5ers, okay? Now, I do those two things, and I will be telling you more about those, but I'll be answering some frequently asked questions that I hear a lot when I'm promoting this event that's coming up in February, this 3-day event where I teach you how to do exactly what I do, to either replace or double your part-time income, or replace or double your full-time income, whatever it is you want to do. Some people don't want to replace either of those incomes because they love what they do. I love what I do as a trainer, but I also know that training is demanding on you. You have to do a lot. Even though I love it, it's passion, but sometimes I want and need to be with my family. I want and need to relax. I want and need to do other things. And to have that freedom, it comes from having your money invested in the three pillars of wealth: real estate, paper assets, which is stocks, options, mutual funds, bonds, foreign exchange, and now cryptocurrency, those type of things, paper assets. And the third one is businesses. If you're going to be wealthy, if you're going to be have a lot of money and not have to work and maybe even leave generational wealth, you have to have your hand in all three of those. That's real estate, paper assets, and businesses. Own a business. You will never ever be wealthy or financially free if you do not own your own business. It could be a little side hustle, but you have to have your own business based on the way that our tax system is structured. I talked about that before. I may talk about it a little bit later, but just digging in right now. First of all, the headliner for this, as I invited you to this live session, says, are you a dime? And a lot of people, especially young people, slang terms, a lot of rappers and artists talk about a dime. Oh man, she's a dime piece, he's a dime, meaning a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 when we rate things, okay? When you go to the doctor, they say on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your pain today? Or how are you feeling today? How did she look on a scale of 1 to 10? How does it measure up on a scale of 1 to 10? So if you're a 10, you're a dime, as in 10 cent, you're a dime piece. And so I'm not necessarily talking about the physical right now when you call somebody a dime piece. That could be a large part of it, because we know, and I say this all the time, I say it again, I'm a firm believer, is a biblical universal truth and law that wealth starts on the inside. Your inner wealth will exemplify itself in your outer self, in the assets that you own, the relationships that you have, your professional life. All this kind of stuff will manifest itself when you are internally wealthy, when you learn to appreciate what you have, when you learn to manage yourself, when you learn discipline. So please make sure that you're sharing, make sure that you're letting me know that you're out there, that you're listening, that you're understanding, you're accepting, you're challenging. Something's going on with you as we have this dialogue. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if you are a level 5, okay, half of 10, if you are a level 5, meaning you rate yourself overall, not just your physical appearance, but your conflict resolution, your emotional intelligence, your emotional stability, all this stuff. If you are a level 5, when problems arise that are a level 7, guess what? They look big to you. You're in trouble. However, if you elevate and you grow yourself to a level 8, okay, a 7 problem looks like, okay, chump change. It looks like something silly and very minute and minuscule. And that's as a result of growing yourself. When you don't grow yourself to a level that you can handle problems that come your way, then of course your problems swallow you. You are level 5, your problems are here at 8 or 10, and they look and they feel like they're greater than you. And at that time they are, because on the inside you have not grown yourself to handle those problems. Let me ask you this way, in a financial scope of things. If you are living paycheck to paycheck, that means every time that you must get paid in order for the bills to get paid. You must get paid. A lot of times you don't get happy until that Friday or that second Friday in the month, whatever. A lot of people are looking forward to that, and they feel down until that time. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you need money to you need your paycheck to get by. And sometimes you need more than that. You have to borrow from people. You have a lot of credit card debt. You have a lot of debt maybe at the furniture store. You have a lot of debt in high car notes. You are living paycheck to paycheck. You're living above your means, okay? Or even you're living in poverty or close to it, okay? When something happens at the house, something happens with the vehicle, something happens in the home, something happens and someone needs to go to the doctor, is that a major problem? Of course it is. When you are at a level 2 financially and something arises at a level 3, 4, 5, anything above a 2, it could be a 2.5. It's a major crisis to those people. And that's why I talked the last time, I think it was last week, the last time in the video, about stocks and flows. A stock is a pile of money that you have. And the more you nibble off of it, or if anything comes along, whether it's an opportunity, I like to call it an opportunity fund because I don't believe in emergency funds. The law of attraction, baby. Okay, so if you have a stock of money, okay, some money sitting somewhere in a bank account, in a savings account, in a bank, all right, and something comes along and you have to use that money, it's gone. However, if you have a flow, money that's continuously coming in, you're adding to that stock. And if something happens and the money is gone, or there's an opportunity arises and the money is gone, it's a flow. So some more money will be coming back to fill it up soon, or to add to it soon. So when you build yourself to have a reserve financially, or you build yourself to have a reserve emotionally, because you pray and meditate, you fellowship with people who are stronger than you, people who are pouring into you, you're under mentorships, you are in tutelage of somebody, you are studying, you're reading, you are taking time for yourself, you're taking that silent time in the morning, at night, sometime just to be alone and think. That the tape session, as I say, to think and pray every day, to let your ideas come to fruition, to ask God to give you the answers to some solutions that may make you a millionaire, that could get you promoted on your job. When you take that time, you're investing in yourself and you're taking yourself to a higher level. When problems come along that used to be bigger than you, okay, and you grew here, now you're looking down on them versus them looking down on you. And God will give you that when you invest in it. When you seek it, you will find it. When you seek to be around people, when you seek to build up your arsenal financially, emotionally, spiritually, when you seek to build that up, then problems seem smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, guess what? Will problems ever stop coming? No. As a matter of fact, the more you grow, the bigger they'll get. That's why you have to keep growing. That's why if you're in your comfort zone all the time, okay, your comfort zone, I heard somebody say it this way, your comfort zone is equal to your wealth zone. So as comfortable as you are, if you're comfortable just going to your regular 9 to 5, working Monday through Friday, whatever it is, and getting ready, thank God it's Friday and you're all happy because it's the weekend or because it's vacation time. If you're comfortable with that, that's as far as you're going to get. But when you say, I'm content here, okay, as Paul says, I know how to be a base, but I also know how to abound. I'm grateful for what I have, but I want more. I know that God created me to have more freedom. I know that God created me to serve more, to do more. So please, hey, listen, if this is good, if you're feeling me, if you have something to say, please chime in. Please give me a thumbs up. Give me a heart. Give me a wink. Something to let me know you're there. Make sure you're typing, whether you're feeding back to me or whether you're typing on your little notepad or you're writing it down in your journal. This is good stuff. So guess what? I'm going to give a shout out to somebody I know right now, to a church member. He and his family. I taught both of his kids in the high school when I taught for 13 years. But this guy is huge. This guy is like I think he's like 7'1" or something like that. Or he's huge. My husband's 6'2", but he's huge. If you know him, his name is Jakari Allen. His son is about as tall as he is, but of course he's a little stockier than his son. They're both big, both athletic guys. Played football, played basketball. His daughter Naomi, his wife, I know them all. They go to my church, okay, and I also know them from school. school when I taught his kids. But this guy is huge. He is bigger than my husband. My husband is 6'2". That's not short. Okay, I'm only 5 foot even. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're short if your money's long. Okay, just kidding. Not being pompous there, but that's what I used to tell my students. Okay, so all right, drum roll, boom. Okay, so back. Jakari is huge. He's like, I think he told me he's 7'1" or 7'2" or something. Well, yeah, I think he's a whole foot taller than my husband, right? So I'm 5'0", 5 even, okay? 5 feet even. My husband is 6'2". Jakari is about 7'2", okay? Now, what is a problem for me sometimes? Something I can't reach in the house is not a problem for my husband, okay? Because he's much taller than I am. What is a problem for him sometimes probably won't be a problem for Jakari at the church because he's much taller. What I'm saying is this: when you grow yourself to a level, okay, that is higher and higher, problems become smaller and smaller, especially things that are common, trite, everyday stuff that people, the average person, as you know my book, Better Than Average, okay, talks about just doing things that are simple things. It's not rocket science. It's not the secret of the world somewhere locked away in the book. It's just things that people may not know, or they might know it, but they don't know how to train themselves to apply it. Because as we said before, simple is not the same thing as easy. Okay, it's simple information, but it's not easy to make yourself do it until you retrain your mindset and you get around people that constantly sharpen you, constantly challenge you, constantly push you. You put yourself in situations that constantly pushes you, in situations where in order for you to perform, you need more and more take time thinking and praying every day. You need more and more time to be in solitude. You need more and more time to study in your craft as well as in the word, in your source of strength and knowledge. You need situations that challenge you. If you are just comfortable and you're complacent and everything's good now and you're doing it with your eyes closed, and you can do it with your eyes closed because there's no challenge and you don't have to stretch, that's probably not where you're going to make your wealth, inside or out. And so as I was saying, many things are not a problem for Jakari, but they will be a problem for me because he's a whole lot taller than I am. My husband as well. When you grow yourself to be a spiritual giant, meaning on the inside, your wealth comes on the inside. You have higher integrity. You give higher value to people. You're always studying. People see me a lot of times saying, you travel so much, it's vacation. It's not all the time. A lot of those times I'm on business, even though it's fun business. I love it because I'm in seminars and sessions learning how to be a better teacher, a better speaker, a better trader, okay, and I meet a lot of wonderful people and I'm in nice exotic locations, but it's still a part of me becoming better so that I can add more value to my clients, growing myself. Now, I talked about before the 3 pillars of wealth, and you'll hear me say it again and again and again, that if you're going to be wealthy, you're going to be financially well off, okay? Financially speaking, you're going to have your hand in all 3 of these: real estate, paper assets, as well as businesses, okay? Right now, I have my hand in 3, okay? I'm doing more so in stock and options right now because that's what I want to perfect, paper assets. After I reach my next goal, because I've been reaching my goals pretty rapidly, I'm grateful for that. God is wonderful. Once you set your intention, the universe comes down to meet you, because the person who knows what they want, they're moving toward. God is in favor of that person. He's going to put people in opportunities in your way to help you, okay? When you set that intention, when you write it down, don't just think it, ink it. I heard Mark Victor Hansen say that, one of the authors of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Don't just think it, ink it. Put it into writing. The Bible even talks about that, writing it, making it plain, so that when you see it, it's going to motivate you every day. You put it somewhere. So when I've been writing my goals, I've been exceeding my goals. So I have, I think, 1 more goal or maybe 2 more goals as it relates to stocks and options. And I will feel that I have mastered it to the level that I want. And I will be moving on to foreign exchange, which is really good. That's another paper asset. Okay. I'm hooking up with some people. I have a cousin that's doing it, and I think she's living it right now. I'm not going to say killing it. She's living it right now and doing very well at that. Her connect is very good. Also, knowing a little bit about cryptocurrency. You never want to invest in anything, whether it's real estate, cryptocurrency, foreign exchange, stocks and options, unless you understand it. That's one of the number 1 rules that most of my mentors will tell you, okay? Most of the big greats, Warren Buffett, all those guys, they will tell you simple businesses that you know about and you believe in when it comes to stocks. Real estate, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get crushed, okay? So making sure that you're doing it. So as I was saying, when I get done with that, I'll be studying more foreign exchange and also cryptocurrency and that kind of thing. So that, well, I know a little bit about, probably as much as I want to know right now about cryptocurrency for the time being. But I will be moving on to go to something else so that I can add more value, add to my portfolio so that I can grow myself. Because, oh, excuse me, that's where I was going with that. Haha, here we go. Think so fast, so many things on my mind. So I would say that I study a lot of times, or that I have my hand in all three of the pillars of wealth right now. Not very major, but some of them are actually by default. Some properties by default because of myself getting married and also purchasing a home for someone and just doing other things. So that's by default. I didn't intentionally invest in real estate yet. I will, but not right now. Right now, my focus is mainly, follow one course into successful. It's mainly on stocks and options, and I'm doing great. God is rewarding me with that focus and with that intention. I have about 3 coaches. I have a mentor. He's a multi-millionaire, 2 times New York bestseller, and you have an opportunity to go study with him if you study with me in the opportunities that I will give you a little later in the program that's coming up this year. But when I was saying that I have my hand in all 3 of the pillars of wealth right now, I'm more involved in businesses because I have about 3 businesses that I own or am a part of, have invested in at this time. Okay, and so a lot of times as a business owner, things will go wrong. Okay, things will pop up, things that you have no control over, things that you can control now better in hindsight because you had the wrong person in the wrong position, or you didn't screen this person, or the person just wasn't right, or it could be totally 100% my fault. It could be totally 100% your fault. And you have to grow yourself to know that things will happen, things will come up, and you will have to be able to deal with them. And this week alone have had several things, popping up, different things. When people have the wrong attitude, when customers and clients misunderstand something, or they think you should be doing something much different than what you're doing, you have to be at a level, close to 10, because problems will arise. And the bigger you get, the bigger problems you're going to have to tackle. That's why you have to, on the outside, you may think you're getting bigger as far as your territory, the things that you own, the businesses that you have, the influence that you have. But if you're not growing on the inside, it will show up when you're not able to deal with issues and concerns that happen. Thinking about the financial thing again. You have a savings account. Guess what? Life happens to wealthy people just like it happens to poor people. Things go out. Things happen at home. Just this week or last week, had to check on the water heater. Now I was grateful for that bill because I've had a water heater bill before where they actually had to rebuild the whole thing, and that was a pretty big chunk. But this time it was only probably about, I think, $260 or something like that. But guess what? Instead of whining and complaining, which is what I used to do, even when I had the money. But one reason you can whine and complain is you don't have the money. The second reason you will whine and complain is you have the money, but you don't realize that, hey, I've grown to the point where that used to be a level 7 problem for me. Now it's only a level 2 because it just means I have to write a check for this, or I have to go get some cash because I don't have any, the guy doesn't take checks. That's a small problem. That's rich people problem, as they say, when you become grateful for the things that you have. Am I grateful that the water heater needed servicing? No, but am I grateful that I was in a position to pay for it without being in a strain, without being in a struggle? And you can say, hey, that's just $260, but I'm grateful for every penny. I'm grateful that I have grown to a level where what used to upset me and throw me off very much so is not a problem anymore. And a lot of people, if you look at it like that, you will attract more good into your life. And the funny thing is, poor people, struggling, broke people think about money more than wealthy people, because guess what? When you have money, it's not really an issue. And you may think, you see these celebrities all the time talking about money, rappers and stuff like that. What did I tell you before when we were talking about a lot of the difference between rich and poor people, or a lot of the misconceptions about like where rich people shop and that kind of thing? Celebrities are only about 1 to 2% of wealthy people. You see more wealthy people, at the stoplight or at the mall or in Walmart, in TJ Maxx, one of their favorite stores, than you will probably see on TV. But you never know it unless you're friends with them, or unless you have time to be around them and study under them. I know several millionaires, multimillionaires, who live right here in my city. The average person, unless you know their story, you would not know it. But the thing is this: wealthy people don't think about money so much. They're not they're not thinking about how to get their next million. Usually they're thinking about, how do I add more value? Because guess what? A lot of times when you become wealthy, most people who become wealthy is because they add value to the world. They're giving something that people need and want in a major way. And yes, there are people who get wealthy, or I'm not going to say wealthy, who get rich by selling drugs and ripping off people and that kind of stuff. But once a small majority is not wealth, it's not true wealth, because it comes back on them in another way. And a lot of times they never keep it. And like I said, it's really not true wealth, because it looks like it's rich on the outside, or it's money on the outside, but on the inside, of course, because you don't have the value to go with it, it's really not there. So poor people think about money a whole lot more than wealthy people. Okay. And it's strange that though they do, why don't they have as much? It's because they think about the lack of it. They think about, remember we talked about the law of attraction. What you think about, you bring about. As a man thinks, so is he. The more you think about not having, the more you will not have. The more you think about struggling, like, man, I'm mad that this happened to the house. I'm mad that this happened. I had to go here and pay for that. Rather than saying, God, thank you. There used to be a time where I would have had to put that on a credit card, but I have a savings account now, okay? Not an emergency fund. We don't call it an emergency because we don't want emergencies to come get it. Now I have a vacation fund. Now I have a contingency fund. So when this opportunity comes up, this person went down on their luck and they're selling something that's of great value. It's a great asset, but they're selling at a low discount clearance price because they need the money. I have the advantage to be the lender and not the borrower. And so it's a great thing to grow yourself to the point where you are internally wealthy, where you can be happy for the trials that come your way because you're able to handle them. And you will know, you can pat yourself on the back and be thankful that you have grown to a level 6 when you used to be a level 4, and problems would squash you. And that's why I tell a lot of people, if you're not growing, you're dying. Okay. And if you're not growing, okay, that's the opposite of God. God is all about life and about growing. If you're the same place, if you are in the same place you were last year this time, or even worse, okay, that is not of God. Okay. I don't care. People talk about where, the poor old widow and this kind. Yes, things happen, but for the most part, God's people, the laws and the principles are for us first and foremost. But if we don't use them, they're universal laws of the universe, of their principles, that you have heathens using them every day, getting wealthy, living fantastic lives according to their own standards, but they're doing it because they're using our principles. Okay, the principles that are meant really first and foremost for the people of God. I'm not going to get into anything preaching, but all this stuff is universal principles. It goes throughout all religions. It goes throughout all ages if you listen to it. Okay. So growing yourself to a level 10 where you can handle bigger problems financially, handle bigger problems when they arise in your relationships and your family. You may be the mediator now. You may be the arbitrator now. You may be the person that says, hey, we can deal with this a different way. I'm calm. I'm going to remain cool. I'm not. And one of one of my mentors said that he made a vow to end suffering. And I adopted this from him, to end suffering. Suffering in his life doesn't last more than 90 seconds. That means something goes wrong. Yes, as my pastor said, I cannot control everything that happens to me, but I can control what happens in me. I can't control the situation, but I can control how I respond to the situation. I can mope about it. We can talk about the problem, or we can talk about the solution. And I've talked about this before, how more people, when they pray, which is supposed to be talking to God, they talk more about the problem and about the enemy, so-called, versus saying what God is and what he has and what he'll do, talking about the assets rather than the liabilities. Never speaking a negative word in that prayer, just speaking everything that you want to see happen versus what is or what you don't want to happen. And that's how a lot of people perpetuate the foolishness and the dire situations that they're in, by praying and focusing on it, talking about and giving life to, by your mouth, giving life to all the foolishness rather than the good things that you want to come out of it. So please at this time, just make sure you're sharing this. If you like it, if it's good, make sure you're giving me some feedback. I see people giving a thumbs up. I see people just if you see something or hear something, just type a little something to keep yourself engaged, but also to let me know that you're out there, because that is a great way for us to stay connected. Now, I may go back to that a little bit, but the second part of tonight is about the excuse me. Thanks, guys. That was a great time for you all to type in or give a couple of little emojis while I was taking a little water break. Need some hydration. But the second thing for tonight's video, or the second aim of tonight's video, is to answer some frequently asked questions that people are hitting me with, and not just now, more so now, but all the time in general, when they find out what I do, or they've heard about it and say, I've heard that you've been doing this, I've been seeing this and that. Some frequently asked questions about what I do, which is trading stock options for a living. Replace my full-time income as a school teacher, as a public school teacher. Reached my goals there, had some of the best times in my life, did some wonderful things in the classroom, in the system. I loved it, but my time was up there. and I wanted to go out and do more training from the stage rather than the front of a public classroom more so. And God opened up that door for me. It's been wonderful, freaking awesome. But in order to do that and launch that more, my primary source of income is trading stock options. Not stocks, but stock options. I do trade or invest in stocks, but more so if you want to make income on a weekly or monthly basis, you have to trade stock options, which is the ability to control a stock without ever owning it. And it takes a fraction, for pennies on the dollar, versus what a stock costs. A stock may cost $70 per share, $70 to $90, especially if it's a good stock like Nike, Walmart, Dollar General, something like that. But a lot of people say, well, if that's the case, I can't even buy but 1 or 2 shares. And 1 or 2 shares, stocks don't move that much. They may move $1 or $2 a week. You're not going to make very much on 1 or 2 shares. But if you own stock options, okay, which you can buy for as little as 70 cents a piece, 80 cents a piece, okay, you can buy a whole lot more of those and make a lot of money quicker. It's just like when the stock moves up, if you bought an option that you want to move up, it'll go up just like the stock does. If the stock moves down, you could have bought or sold an option that you want to move down. What I like to say, how I teach it, is insurance policies for stocks. Not insurance policies, life insurance and that kind of thing, because I heard somebody, they misunderstood what I was saying. No, I don't sell life insurance policies. No, I'm not in internet marketing or anything like that. I sell buy and sell stock options. Okay, and that's what I do on a weekly basis. That's how I replaced, and not just replaced, I recently reached my goal and exceeded my income as a school teacher. And no, it's not just when, of course, people are talking about the market is booming, you can be making a lot of money. Everybody's making money now. But what about when it starts to correct? I don't like to say crash, because I you know me, if you study with me, I believe in the power of words. I don't like to say crash. When the stock market corrects because it's overpriced and prices come back down to what they should be, what the value of stuff really is. Can you make money then? Yes. Have I done it? Yes. As a matter of fact, the first time I ever made money in the stock market is when there was the crash, the correction back in 2011. That was freaking awesome. First time I got in there. Of course, we entered a recession or recessionary area around 2008, and then 2011. That's when I first entered the stock market. And of course, I was explaining it to my students. I was a very young high school teacher then, and was sharing a lot. I taught economics, which was wonderful, freaking awesome, a very relevant subject. Everything in life is related to it. Not home economics. I'm talking about economics, which is gross domestic product, taxation, capital, in capital goods and consumer goods, that kind of thing. Scarce resources, how you allocate resources, and how you make money and invest money and that kind of thing. So I taught economics at the high school level. I was very blessed to teach a subject that I really believed in. I majored in economics at Spelman College. So I was able to use my degree. I was able to do something that I really loved and felt added value to the world, because we all study it every day, whether we realize it or not. But trading stock options, I started to do it, and when I first started, I got burned really bad, lost a lot of money in the market because I was ignorant. Okay, and I'm not afraid to say that I'm still ignorant in some areas. There are many things that I don't know how to do. I'm ignorant as it relates to flying a plane. I'm ignorant as it relates to futures. I do options. Okay, and so ignorance just means you don't know. And if you're ignorant, you will get burned every time, or you would just be so afraid that you will never enter. And there's plenty of money to be made. Okay, for those who are not scared, as T.I. says. Okay, it's plenty of money to be made, and people who have been doing it for centuries with my money. And you guys have seen the sucker video when I told you why banks give out suckers, because banks and brokers and all kinds of financial advisors, and that answers one of the FAQs. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial consultant. I am not an investment advisor. I'm a student of stock and option trading. I have mentors. I have a mentor. I have coaches. And they give this very same disclaimer. I do not know your situation. I do not give you investment advice. I show you what I do. I show you how I do it, and you choose to apply it if you want to. I do not give advice. I am not an investment. I do not have a Series 6 or whatever license. I don't want that liability on me. All I have to say as a teacher, as a disclaimer, is that I am not a financial advisor or broker. I'm not giving you advice. I'm telling you what I do. You can do it if you want to. It's up to you. And that's it. And that's how my mentor taught me. That's how my coaches teach me. And like I said, my mentor is a very humble, very, very wealthy, very loving. And you'll get a chance if you come aboard with me to go to his his luxurious estate with his horse farm. You'll get the chance to see his horses and have lunch with him. He'll have a barbecue catered for everyone after you're learning with him for 3 days for free on him, because he has it like that. And he's very wonderful. His wife, his whole team is very humble. They're very open. They're very loving. They're very giving. And I'm in his inner circle as well. And so I know I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not a stockbroker. As a matter of fact, when I first started, not this mentor, but when I first started learning stocks, one of my teachers said, the reason they call them brokers is because they're broker than you. And so you don't want a lot of times to go through a stockbroker. You have a digital broker now. You can do it online. You click a couple buttons and money's in your account like that. And so another question, people say, well, how much do I need to get started if I want to, if I go to your class and learn how to do this, or if I want you to help me invest and that kind of stuff, how much money do I need to get started with? I just told you, you can buy stock options for as little as $70, $150, meaning 50 cents per share, okay, or 70 cents per share, okay. So for 100 shares, you pay $70, okay, and it's just like having 70 shares of stock, because if the stock goes up, and your option goes up. And so if it goes up from 70 cents to 170, you just made $1. $1 times 100, you made $100. Okay. But that's risky, because it's a stock. It's just like a stock. If the stock goes up, you make money. Stock goes down, you lose money. Okay. But stock options are a little different. Just like those people who came to the seminar, I showed you the video of the movie Blind Side, where the lady's doing the narration, Sandra Bullock. She's saying, any housewife knows the first check you write is for the mortgage. The second one is for the mortgage insurance. Okay. Because you don't want to have an asset that big and risk losing it. So Warren Buffett and all the big guys and people who spend big money in the market, they buy stocks, but they also insure their stocks. And what you do, if you sell options, you sell the insurance policy to them. You sell them the right to sell you a stock even if the market goes down. And if that market never goes down, which you can predict, you just keep the insurance policy. Just like if you, and I'll be doing a webinar soon, hopefully, where I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. But when you pay your car insurance or your house insurance or your health insurance and you never file a claim, nothing ever happens, thank God, do they give you the money back? No. Okay. Now, of course, there are certain life insurance policies like that, but for the most part, your house insurance, your homeowner's insurance, your property insurance, car insurance, they don't get the money back. You don't get the money back. Now, the risk goes here. Will something happen and they have to pay money sometimes because you file a claim? Yes. But think about how often it is versus the thousands and millions of people who are paying those premiums and nothing ever happens. The insurance company is piling up that money and investing it so that when they do have to finally pay somebody back for an accident, it really drops in the bucket for them. So selling stock options, you just keep selling the options, selling the options, selling the option. If something happens and the stock falls and you have to buy the stock, then I have another strategy where you still don't lose money there. So that's why I say it's no risk. And that goes another question. How can you be in the market without having risk? Because a lot of people are afraid of the stock market because the Great Depression and great crashes, as they say, well, people lose a lot of money. You lose a lot of money when you're being greedy or you don't know what you're doing. Okay, you're being greedy or you don't know what you're doing. Making money consistently is about knowing exactly what to do. And like I said, you can spend 10 minutes a day. Really, it's 10 minutes a week. You probably spend more 10 minutes a day just checking up on things. But about 10 minutes a week, putting in a trade, letting it ride out, and then the money goes into your account instantly as soon as you click send. Okay. But it clears, okay, by the end of the week. And it's freaking awesome to see that happening where I'm making money based on an idea, really. Insurance is just money on an idea, okay? Protecting you against a loss that you hope never happens, okay? So I sell insurance in the stock market. Not homeowners insurance, not life insurance, but options with your stock insurance. And it's easy to do when you know the system, but I have to take a little time to teach you the system. And so, you spend 3 days with me. I teach you how to do it. The last time I taught this class, it was 6 months. We spent a little time together once a month for 6 months. And the people, by the third month, they knew everything and they wanted to trade. They were anxious to trade. So I said this time in this area here in Albany, since this is my second time offering it here in my hometown, I was going to offer it in a 3-day seminar where people could get everything they needed. And that Monday, we will be trading. You will be placing a trade. I'll have to get with you beforehand, before the class ever starts, to get your account set up so that you will be in a position to make a trade that day. But you will make a trade, you will see, and you will feel tingling over your whole body when you see that money go into your account, when it says credit to your account, when you hit that send button right then and there. You don't have to wait for anything else. That's what I do for a living, in addition to training. And that is my PSI, my primary source of income. Training is secondary, okay, right now. And that's the thing. It's wonderful because I can do it from the comfort of my own home. I can do it in my pajamas. Okay. I can do it while I'm in the tub. I don't put my computer in the tub or by the tub, because that's a big risk. But some people take that risk. Okay. And which is, if you're willing to take risks, okay, you probably would be great at this. And even if you're not, because it's not a lot of risk, once I show it to you and show you how there's really not a lot of risk there, you will be able to say, hey, I want to do that. Another question. Let's see. Another FAQ that I had is, let's see. Let's see. Okay, if you remember a question that I had on there, a question you want to know, you can put it on the screen right now. But I'm looking up right now the FAQs that I put on this little invite for you to come in and see. All right. So how much money? Okay. Am I just making money because the stock market is going up? No. Yes, I'm doing better because the stock market is going up. But novice make money only when the stock market is going up. Okay. Do insurance policies are they only good for some time? No, insurance policies are always good because you always want to protect your assets, especially when it baffles me how people pay $1,000 for a phone. You might say, I didn't pay it, but if they're breaking it up in your payments, you are paying $1,000 for a phone, but you pay $500, $600, $700, $1,000 for a phone, and I see them and there's no case, and then boom, the case is cracked or the screen is cracked, and now you need a new phone or you need $100 for a new screen or foolishness. Okay, when you buy large assets, wealthy people protect their assets. That's why they have trust. That's why they have insurance. That's why they have legal agreements. That's why they have LLCs. Okay, rather than just regular businesses where they write off taxes and that kind of thing. But the insurance policies are not just good when the economy is doing good. They're not just good when the economy is doing bad. Insurance policies are good all the time because they supply a common, consistent need that will keep going. Same thing in the stock market. Investors, everybody's not broke, and that's something I'll get to in a later live session. But everybody's not broke. You have people who are spending big bucks in the stock market, investing every day. The Warren Buffetts, or even just the guy who lives on the other side of town from you, who's investing big money in the stock market, millions, hundreds of thousands, and they want to ensure that if something happens, they always can sell this at a certain price, and you give them that right by selling them an option. Okay, just like when you have a car. You have a car, it's worth $30,000, or so you think. Okay, so you insure it for $30,000. That says that if something happens to the car, somebody hits it, you crash it, something falls on it, and now it's a piece of junk that's worth $3. Your insurance policy says that you can give it to the insurance company and they will give you $30,000 for however much you insured it for. Same thing with the stock. Warren Buffett buys the stock for $80. Okay, the market tanks and it goes down to $10. Right when he bought that stock, he also bought an insurance policy that says if the market ever goes down, I can sell my stock at $90, not $80. That's what he bought it at. He wants to sell it at $10 profit, and he can buy that by buying a little insurance policy for about maybe 70 cents or 80 cents per share. Okay, and you can sell it to him at 70 cents, 80 cents per share, even if you don't have the money to buy the stock. If you have a certain percentage of it, you can start with as little as, like I said, $150. But if you really want to do what I do, in order to trade options the way I do, you have to have at least $2,000 in your account, $2,000. Now check this out. You might say it's a lot of money, and hopefully you don't, but there are some people who have had situations, they're just now learning and growing, so that might be a lot of money to them. But check this out. If I told you that if you came up with $2,000 to put into your account, and I would show you how to make anywhere from $250 to $350 per week, okay, with that money sitting there, okay? You never touch the principal. Every week, if you want to get the $350 out, the $250 out that you've made, that's fine. But most people keep growing their account so they can do more and more, which is what my students are doing now. But if I told you you sit $2,000 that you took out of a sorry savings account that they're ripping you off, or that you were going to spend on clothing when you got your income tax, or going out and treating everybody, if I told you you could put $2,000 in an account and make about $250 or $300 a week on it, would you not find $2,000? I know I did it, okay? It's true. You can do it. And this is the less risky side, okay? The risky side is starting with like $150. But for a little bit more money, well, a bit more money, $2,000 you put into there, you can make this amount of money every week. That means you can have your investment back, okay, in less than a year, okay? You have your investment back in less than, if I'm giving you $250 minimum a week. I have a person right now, I made 3 trades for her in about 2 months, okay? She recouped all the money that she invested to join with me, as well as she's at a about 10% profit right now, okay? And we only made 3 trades within about 2 months, okay? That's what's going on. All of my students who are trading are at that right now. Pretty much. They're at, one of them is at 30 something percent. Okay. What I'm telling you is this. You have to have wit, whatever it takes. I'm not saying, if you know that you're horrible with debt, you get credit cards and you buy silly stuff that you shouldn't, you get your income tax and you blow it on silly stuff and you don't know how to handle credit, that's fine. But there's good credit when you get things that you make investments on credit rather than consumption spending. That's going to just add to your debt and give you these wacky interest rates. But when I first learned how to do this, the course was, I think, about $59.95. Okay. About $5,000 or $6,000. I didn't have it. I put it on a credit card. And because the person I am, I said that I was cleaning up and saying I didn't want consumer debt. I said, this is not consumer debt. This is investment debt. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pay this off in a couple months. And guess what? I got in there and I got behind it and I did it. This leads me into, probably I'm going to do the last question. It probably will be the last question. I kind of say the best for last. A lot of people say, why is the class so expensive? The regular price of my class is $4,995. $4,995. You can get it anywhere between $1,700 and about $2,000 when I'm doing promotions. If you're at a seminar, because I give you a very good advantage and a very good treat or reward for coming to a seminar, because you learn a lot of stuff there for free, and I want you to get that. But when I do promotions like the one I'm doing now to the King Holiday, you can get it for anywhere from $1,795 to $1,995. You have to inbox me about it, okay? I will never give you the best price. The best price is at my seminars, and I tell my seminar participants that if you come to a free seminar, you will get the absolute best price. I can never give it to you, anyone else, cheaper than that, because I reward you for that, and I'm going to stick by my word. But okay, some people will say, well, $5,000 is a lot of money, or $2,000 is a lot of money. First of all, the first response I have to that is no, it's not. Okay. $2,000, $5,000 is not a lot of money, especially for what I'm teaching you. But it's not a lot of money at all when you think about all the money that's in the world. When you think about the country we live in, the opportunities we have. Most people, if you're on Facebook right now, that means you have access to either a phone, a computer, some kind of data, that kind of stuff. So in the country we live in, the opportunities we have, $2,000 is not a lot of money. $5,000 is not a lot of money. $10,000 is not a lot of money. Okay, especially when you are investing. Okay, and the reason why I know it's not a lot of money, because I see a lot of broke, struggling people spending it on clothes, vacations, eating out, and a lot of foolish stuff daily. Okay, daily. It's not a lot of money. What it is if you have a problem with it, it's not a lot of money. It's just that you don't have enough money. It's not that my services are too expensive. It's that you are broke, or you have a broke mindset, meaning you will spend it on clothing and shoes and foolishness all day long. But if I ask you to invest in yourself, where you have to buckle down, and even though if I can't say guarantee because of legal reasons, but if I can show you again and again and again in my account, as well as my students' account, how it works and how you pretty much cannot lose if you do what you're supposed to do. You don't have to be a genius. It's not network marketing. You're not signing people up. You don't have to teach this. You just click a few buttons and make it happen. Okay. If you are really serious, okay, that is definitely not a lot of money. Like I said, if it's a lot of money to you, it's because either you're broke or you have a broke mentality. And like I said, I was that person once. I was that person sitting in the room saying, and I've said this before, counting other people's money. Well, this class costs this, and they get this many people sign up, they're going to make this amount of money. I'm not doing it. Okay, whoa, it hurt them a lot. Not at all, because they didn't even know my name. I'm the person who missed out. Now, if it's for you and you say, this is something that I can use to help my family, to help myself. I have students right now that are teaching it to their kids, teaching it to their coworkers, teaching this because they sat down and took my class. Okay, they paid the investment. Okay, and they got it good because I'm adding more value. That was probably the cheapest that it'll ever be again. Okay, when they paid, I think $14.95 or something like that for about a year ago. I've added more value. I added a different trade that's guaranteed to make you more money. And so I'm adding more value to it now. It's a 3-day course now. Food is included, all this kind of stuff. And I have to pay for a venue and that kind of stuff. So the price will be going up from now. It will never, ever again be under $17.95 at all. Okay, so those are my great students. But now they're teaching it to other people. Like I said, you can use this to change your family legacy. Teach it to teenagers instead of them getting a job, okay, just going out there doing something and actually giving them time to find out what they want to do and follow what they want to do, so they become skilled in that and they get more experience in that at a young age instead of going to the first job available at McDonald's or Burger King. Okay, but finding out they want to be a barber, going to apprentice under a barber, or going to classes and seminars, and they don't have to go to a job because they have this. They can just sit at their computer and make money through paper assets, which is what the wealthy have been teaching their kids to do for centuries. Okay, so it's not a lot of money. And secondly, let me say this. A lot of people, the poor mentality says, what is it going to cost me? Rich people ask, what is it going to make me? This is an investment. Now, if it's consumption, okay, and you say, I'm just blowing it on a car, some shoes, some kind of stuff, okay, it's not going to make me anything. It's what is it going to cost me? But if it's something, a deal that's on the table, a real estate deal, or getting in a partnership with somebody, or you're asking, okay, how much is this going to make me? When I tell you that you can have your money recouped, okay, within 6 months, also, I'm talking about actually back in your hands, but also you can write it off as a tax write-off when you set up your business the way that I would teach you in this class. So it's not just about the trading. I will also teach you about your business and how to write off certain things in your business. And it's more than what you think. A lot of people think they know about, structuring your business that way. I will teach you so many ways of making money outside of stock trading, options trading, that you will be, you would definitely never regret that you took this class. Okay, so it's not a lot of money at all. What it is that and this is the sad thing right here. And I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but if you do, okay, that's probably good. It's probably because it's hitting home. Okay, heard somebody say this, and a mentor said it, and then somebody I know echoed it a few weeks ago. Okay, it says that the truth will make you free, as the word said, but it probably will piss you right off before it does. Okay, first it's going to rub you the wrong way, especially if it is true. Okay. So this is the sad thing. If you don't have $2,000 or $5,000 or however much money that it takes to take a course that will change your life, that will make you money, okay, when I show you how to take a retirement account where they're making pennies, okay, and probably not even that way. If you look at your retirement account, I'm not trying to rock the boat or get anything started, but if you look into your account, you probably will see that if based on the rate that they're going, you're not going to have a lot to retire from, okay? If I could show you how to get access to that and manage it, well, you never, ever, ever, it's not foolishness. Don't take your money out of the retirement account. You never have to touch the principal. Use the principal to make money for you every month, and you live off that money, okay, into retirement. You keep doing the same thing, all right? You reinvest some of it and you live off. If I showed you how to use your retirement account to make $6,000 a month, okay, you live off 4, put 2 back into the account so that it keeps building, and you make larger and larger trades. Now you're making 8,000 instead of 6,000 because your account has grown. I can show you how to do that. I've spent out hundreds of hours, okay, tens of thousands of dollars with my mentors, with my time learning how to do this. That's another reason, okay, that you might say, well, why is it a couple grand for this class? You know what it took me to get it? Okay, 22 grand plus, meaning I'm still investing. I will never stop learning because I'm always learning how to get a return on my investment. When I invest in a class, when I join a mastermind, when I get under a mentor and I have to pay for that access, I'm already thinking about how I'm going to recoup that, and then grow from there. I'm always learning value because I teach you, because I have to always be a step above. I have to always be growing myself to another level, as you said. So when level 5 problems come and something happens in the market, I am at level 10, so I can handle it, no problem, no sweat, and I can pass it on to my students. I can pass that confidence on. When you're not confident about what you teach, you don't believe in what you teach, you don't know it, your students pick up on it, okay? And they take that same, not only do they not respect you, but they take that same fear and lack of confidence with them. And when it comes to learning what you're trying to teach them. So I cannot have that. No way, no how. I have to invest in being a giant, a freaking giant, so that no problem, okay? I heard Tony Robbins say this in his book, Unshakable, okay? Or in his book, Money Mastering the Game. And in Unshakable says that you have to build yourself to be a financial powerhouse so that your family is protected no matter what happens, okay? Life will happen, okay? If the government flips out and does something silly, and that's not too far fetched right now. If something goes wrong, is your family protected financially, okay? If something happens, is it going to look like a level 10 because you're at level 2? Or will it just look like, hey, another day, I just have to deal with this and keep it moving? What's next? Okay. Because when you build yourself, you can do that. You got to have a lot of tools in the toolbox. Yes, I'm going to get into cryptocurrency. I'm going to look into studying it. Yes, I will get into foreign exchange because you got to have a lot of tools in the toolbox. Okay. But I'm teaching you something simple right now that anybody, okay, that's smart enough to be on here right now, okay, or smart enough to go and look at this video later, you can learn it. It doesn't take long. I can teach you in 3 days. Have you trading that Monday? Have you making money that Monday? I want you to come and join me. $2,000 is not a lot of money. $5,000 is not a lot of money. And no, you're not going to pay $5,000 for it if you are committed to either taking advantage of the promotion that's from January 1st through the 16th, or maybe coming to the free financial empowerment seminar we're having at Victory Tabernacle on the 27th of January, that Saturday from 9 until 3, I think. Whatever, however you're taking advantage of that. Outside of that, it's going to be regular price. When I close out all the promotions, they will be closed. And I have people all the time running last minute. I want to do, because you're waiting to see if somebody else is going to do it. Somebody else is going to approve it. Listen, if you, first of all, if you think that your paying tuition is going to, I'm not even going to say that. But that's the thing. If it's something for you, if you can use this value and you think it's worth it and you know you need it or you desire it, step up. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. Don't count other people's money and say, well, this is what she's going to make. Because guess what? Regardless of whether you join it or not, I will make it, because like I said, my primary source of income right now is not teaching, okay? It is trading stock options. That is wonderful. I'm so blessed and grateful. Thank you, God, for stock options. Thank you for the market and how it's set up. Once you see it in action, you will say, God, how does this work? This is awesome. And it's pretty much guaranteed, because there's a strategy for whatever's going on in the market. There's a strategy for good, bad, and ugly in the market. And people have been doing it, and they're continuing to do it right now as we speak. While you are doing now, if you say, hey, I want to continue to live in the same way I'm living, I'm comfortable living paycheck to paycheck, or having my money sitting in the savings account, which is a stock, not a flow. If something happens and the money's gone, then I'm back at square one. Or you want to, and you say, I don't want any flows. I don't want money consistently coming to me every week or every month. I'm content with building up a stock, just adding slowly to my savings account and pinching off of it so it drains back down and then adding again. If you're content with that, and you're content with spending your income tax money, blowing it by treating your friends and buying all types of new clothes and cars and that kind of stuff, or you say, hey, I just think it's too much, then hey, if it's too expensive for you, this is not for you. If you say, I have a credit card, I can put it on there. Hey, if you're the person that knows it's going to make it, that's another reason I can't teach you this for free. I can't teach you this for pennies on the dollar, because it has to be enough investment. You have to have enough skin in the game to get in there and do the work. When I put $6,000 on that credit card to join the team, I knew, because I knew the kind of person I was, and the direction I was going in. I did not want debt, even though that wasn't considered consumer debt. I did not want debt on me. So I said, hey, I'm going to hustle and make this happen. I got to make it happen. It's not going to be shelf help, meaning you buy a program and put it on the shelf. It has to be self-help. When you put skin in the game, it's going to motivate you. Okay. You have to do, as they say, burn the boats. Okay. We talk about the group of warriors that never lost the battle, because when they got off the ship to go and conquer this land, their general burned the boats and said, hey, listen, either you win or you're going to die. It's no ships. We're not retreating. So if you look at the movie Pursuit of Happiness, okay, Will Smith played Chris Gardner. When you don't have a choice, you're going to make it happen. It's not because of what I need or they're going to give me a job. It's because I freaking am going to bring the best to them. Okay. They didn't hire him because he needed it. They hired him because he was willing to make it happen. He had wit, whatever it takes. Okay. So if somebody told me, and I would do it again and again because I've done it. If somebody told me, hey, put $2,000 in this account, take this class, okay, scrape the money up to do both, to put money into the account, and I promise you, you will make. Matter of fact, when I took the first class on learning this, they guaranteed that you would make 3 times your money, okay, within a year. All you had to do was make a certain number of trades. You had to show that you were trying, okay. So if you made six trades in 6 months and you didn't make your money back, 3 times over, okay, 3 times what you paid to get in the class, they would give it back, okay. That's not my guarantee, because I know there are still people out there. Another mentor told me you don't deal with buttholes. There are some people that are just waiting to take advantage of something like that. And also I know that it's within you. You can get all the information. I can teach it absolutely awesome, freaking awesome, when you understand it, but it's still up to you. Some people aren't motivated. I'm not a motivational speaker, because motivation means I want it for you more than you want it for yourself. What I am is a confrontational speaker. I help you to confront issues that you should have a long time ago. To say, hey, if $2,000 is a problem for me and I don't have it right now, and I'm 20, 30, 40 years old, that's a freaking problem. I need to really do some searching, some soul searching on the inside of me to see why it's reflecting on the outside of me where I'm scraping up and I can't do this. And I'm not saying that to try to get you to do this, because it's not for everybody. Okay. If you think it's get rich quick, that is not going to happen, because if you're starting with $2,000, you're not going to be a millionaire next year. Okay. Now, my mentor did take, I think, $2,000 and turn it into 1.7 million in about 2 years, but it was because he was investing so well. Other people employed him to invest for them. So it wasn't just him flipping $2,000 all the way to $1 million in 2 years. He's not going to tell you that. He'll be straight up honest. He probably flipped it into maybe like, I think 50,000 or something by the first year. And people saw what he was doing and they wanted to know, and they wanted him to invest for them. So it's not for you. Okay. If you have the same broke, if you're broke or you have the broke mentality. Okay. And broke, I'm not looking down on people who are, because I've been broke before. I've had the broke mentality before, counting other people's money, didn't want to invest because I thought the other person who was teaching the class was going to be so much better off. When in reality, they showed me their accounts. Whether I signed up or not, they were doing the doggone thing through trading. Okay. As well as there may be 100 people in the room that signed up already anyway. So my little drop in the bucket is not going to make a difference. But that broke mentality, that mindset will have you counting other people's money because you don't have your own to count. And I know that to be true. Counting other people's money because you don't have your own to count. But hey, it's not for everybody. If you think you're going to get rich quick, if you say, hey, I just, I'm very fearful and, I have I can do it on a credit card, but I'm still not going to be in it. I'm just going to put the money. I know people who are shopaholics, and I recently found out that shopaholics is not just about buying clothes and shoes and that kind of stuff. I went to a seminar with somebody who was a shopaholic, and they just felt they had to buy something. So they bought all these programs and never did anything with it, because that's a sickness, just like alcoholic is a sickness. So if you know you're not going to do anything with it, okay, by all means, let it go. But if you can find a way to do this, okay, I'm telling you, it's worth it. It definitely will change your financial blueprint and your thermostat, which means a lot of people are set on broke. If they have a certain amount of money, they feel uncomfortable. Okay. They feel uncomfortable. When they get their income tax money, they got to spend it. They got to just blow it, because they're only thing they're comfortable with. Their thermostat is set for broke, to say, I got to live paycheck to paycheck. I got to pay off bills. So and I have relatives like this. Once I pay off a bill, I'm going to run up another one. If I have freedom with no credit card debt, nobody has chains on me, they just don't feel right. They got to go out and do it, because that's how they've trained themselves. We will talk about all this in the 3-day seminar, not only working on the skill set in your toolbox with the stock options, but also changing your mindset so that you will never, ever be broke again, so that you will always have money making money for you. You will always look at things from an investment viewpoint versus a consumer viewpoint. All this stuff is priceless. Okay. So I want to close up right now. Hopefully I answer your FAQs. If I haven't, put them on my Facebook page, inbox me, do something, email me, VictoriaGBrackens@milkandhoney.com. My website, milkandhoney.com. You will see that on my Facebook page. Get with me if you're serious about doing this, or if you just want me to help you invest. You don't want to take the class. You don't want to make that commitment right now. You don't think you can do it. Just get with me. The seminar, it's called Stacks and Stocks Financial Empowerment Workshop. The few, okay, you're going to be one of the few, the 2% of Americans who have this access, okay. It is February 10th through 12th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Let's say Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Why a Monday? Is because the stock market is closed on Saturday and Sunday. I want you to actually see me trading on Monday, as well as make your own trades where you make money on Monday. It's going to be at the Micro Business Center, Albany, Georgia. That's 230 South Jackson Street. You have to register. This is not a free seminar, okay, because it's hours and hours. As you know, anybody who's going to speak on a stage or speak in a classroom, for every hour you spend teaching, if you're a good teacher, okay, because there are a lot of people out here professing things right now, they're gurus and specialists and that kind of stuff, have no education, no training. They're talking in all these cliches and saying all this foolish stuff that is emotionalism or just a bunch of hype, and people are jumping on because it's stuff that they hear on reality shows and all these cliches and this ebonics and stuff. But if you are a true teacher, a true educator, okay, for every hour you spend on stage or in front of somebody, you're spending between 5 and 7 hours preparing for that. And you might think it's ridiculous. And if you do, that's probably why, if you are an educator, you are a speaker, that your results suck, okay? Or the people, your students have teachers like that, because You have to spend, and it's not always just sitting down in a classroom or sitting somewhere. Those hours are preparing in reflection. Those hours are preparing in planning and writing and coming up with scenarios and examples, being around other people, bouncing it off, masterminding with people. Every hour you spend in front of people, you need to spend 5 to 7 hours in preparation. That's why I can't give it to you for free. That's why I can't give it to you for a couple $100. Not only because you need skin in the game, not only because you have to, not only because I had to pay for it, but also because it's very time consuming. I have to be with you for a good bit of time to show you this so that you clearly understand, so that you can apply it, so that you can ask questions, so that you can work on your mindset as well. Because like I said, when I lost money before, I got burned for being greedy. Teach you how to get around that. Teach you how to set certain stuff to make sure that greed doesn't get you. So please, I have a 60% off of the regular price. Okay, to know exactly what that price is, you can calculate it. The regular price is $49.95. You can calculate it, or you can get with me. Okay, but this promotion ends January 16th, the King holiday. Dr. King was such an economist. He talks about freedom, about being Malcolm X, about having your own stuff, having your own power through wealth, controlling your own stuff. Okay, not having to depend on anybody financially, so that you have to depend on them for other things. But that's something else. So January 16th, this promotion will be over. The next time, and the only other time I would guarantee a promotion, okay, is at the Victory Financial Empowerment at Victory Tabernacle. January 27th, that's a Saturday, and that's going to be from, I think, 10 until 3 or 9 to 3 or something like that. But I'll be posting about that as well. But if you want to take advantage of these promotions, other than that, it's $49.95, $4,995 to get in this class. Well worth it, as actually underpriced compared to what some other people are going to charge. And let me tell you this, there are things going to be popping up on the internet all the time. Some classes I've already invested in, they'll tell you they're going to show you how to do this for $97. They're going to show you how to do this for $197. And what they do is a teaser. They charge you $100 or $200 to tell you what I tell you in a free seminar, to show you what they do, and then say, hey, listen, I can show you how to really do it. Okay, this is what I do, but you're not going to know the parameters or what to click and where to go and that kind of stuff unless you come to my class. And they're going to do this same thing. Okay, so they're not going to give you value information. You can always learn something. They can give you valuable information, but to do what I'm telling you, that you will be able to walk out that third day and make money weekly, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars for some of you, depending on how you fund your account. It's no lie. I have students. I'll be putting up some testimonials later. Okay. You will be able to do that, and it's all for a couple $1,000. Okay, so please, if you want to do that, get with me. All right, talk to me. We might can make something happen. You never know until you try. When you put your mind to something, God will put some things in action for you. All right, so I'm signing off. You guys have a great night and a wonderful life. And remember, you can be a money magnet, you can be a money master, or you can focus on what you don't want. So repeat it with me. I'm a money magnet. Every day new money finds me. I am a money master. Every day my money finds me new money.